Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 36 for our Season 2 of Medieval Dynasty. Today we're going to work on getting a couple of animal buildings back up and going out by the fields. We're also going to see about going ahead and doing another mining run when the season changes. We're also going to have to seed for flax. We have quite a bit that we actually have to do because we spent most of winter building, but that's alright. Let's see what we can get into. So if you learn anything useful today, or if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, let's go ahead and load in. Hey Alex, hey Stesso, what's going on, guys? We're just loading in. You guys caught it from the very get-go. So they've still got a little bit over here to handle, it looks like. They'll probably get it done, but we are going to have to keep an eye on that. I do, however, want to get us our animal buildings up. Originally, I wanted to put them on that side, but I actually think we're going to end up putting them on this side. And we're probably going to start up here, since this is where our production buildings and whatnot are. Can we squeeze through here? No. Hey, Venomous! How's things, man? Okay, we might do this a little bit backwards from last time. Let's, here's how I think we're going to handle this. We're going to put our gate this way. And then our fences is going to be kind of hard to tell where we want to put them. So I definitely know that we're going to want a pigsty and we're going to want a fold. But I want the fold closer to where we're actually doing stuff with it than I do the pigsty, because the pigsty we're not going to interfere with as much. How's that look? Because that's not much room. Let's go ahead and take one of these trees out. Alright, I think this will be the last one that we pull out. But this should allow us to put the two buildings side by side. I don't think we're actually going to do a goose hut because we're only using the eggs to feed ourselves. So I'm not really going to worry about making an additional goose hut. I think that would be a waste of time and effort. But this is a little closer than I really wanted it. So we're going to go ahead and move this back a little bit. And then we'll put the pigsty next to it. Okay, so now for fencing... This is going to be the awkward part. It's like our fence line on our other building is slightly awkward too. Okay, we can work with this. So let's go into fences. We're actually gonna do stone for this. So we're gonna line ourselves up east so that we can get away with walking straight lines here. Alright, let's redo this. We're only going to do 3 sections to the right of the fence. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3 and 10. One day, maybe. Maybe I'll be popular. Okay, so we're at 2. We're at 3. That trips to 4, so we'll stop there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's better. Crap, I wasn't counting sideways. Oh, we can't count sideways. Because we don't know. We're going to come just a little bit past this. Okay, that's a little too much past this. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close enough. That was really, really close for just counting squares. I think we can make that work. It's my dream, if I ever won the lottery or something crazy like that, my dream with the money would be to invest it. Hey, Resource Storage 3! Invest it in something where I can get enough that I can survive monthly off of dividends and just sit on it. Just let it accrue and make more wealth for my children, and in all honesty, I don't have children, so, and probably never will. But, like, my half-sister's 8 years younger than me. I wouldn't mind leaving her some stuff when I go. Political I want to get. I try to avoid politics because politics are probably the second most divisive subject in the world. The first being religion. You had to serve in the military for college, fair enough. And there's no shame in that. Why is there a kid way the shit out here? Oh, right, because the couple we moved in. Like, tell me that kid didn't walk all the way from the main village. This sounds like some crap I would have done as a kid. It would be funny, but I've never been much for caring what other people think of me. I mean, you have to care somewhat as to what other people think of you just to work in society as a whole, but in the grand scheme of things, I've been called any number of things from the time I was a child, and it's fine. I don't really care. I have thick skin. Nothing to prove. Alright, so now we will wait until the new colt, the new Stevie, is grown before we get rid of the stallion. But there's no point in keeping an adult female since both of our empty slots are full. So even if they bred, there was nowhere for it to go. So there's no reason to sit on that money when we can just sell it off and then wait for filly to grow up. Wait for the new filly to grow up. Our pigs, man, we've gone a long time without any pigs growing up. Because these two were bred, but we haven't had any additional since. Alright, I want to make sure that 0.75 is an adult before I sell off this male. I think it is, but I'm not positive. Well, yeah, because these say goose, not gosling. Okay, never mind. So we're going to sell off this male. And we're going to sell off one of the older females, just to give us 2 more breeding slots for geese. Actually, we're going to sell off both the older females because we are not eating as many eggs as they're producing. The funniest show I've ever seen, Ancient Aliens. Yeah. Yeah. The sad part is there are people that believe everything that they say on that show like it's gospel. My father's one of them. And sometimes he really frustrates me with the conspiracy theory stuff. I am a big fan of... are you guys familiar with Occam's razor? Are you familiar with Hanlon's razor? Okay, so Hanlon's razor is in the same vein as Occam's razor. Occam's razor being the simplest solution is usually the proper one. Hanlon's razor is never a tribute to maliciousness what can be explained through stupidity. And it sounds like a joke, but it's very, very serious. If you have somebody that you say somebody did something to you because they're trying to control you, or they're trying to make you do something, or they're trying to take something from you, and it's possible that you never even factored into their calculations. That one is probably the more accurate. Never attribute to maliciousness what can be explained through stupidity or ignorance. And I am a very, very big fan of that. I think a lot of conspiracy theories are people trying to put reason into a place where reason was never actually a part of the equation. There are actually 8 razors, but honestly, those are the only 2 that I really remember. That makes more sense. I'll have to put more thought into that, right? It's true, though, because our first reaction when somebody, quote-unquote, screws us over is that they did it intentionally. And 9 times out of 10, you never even factored into their thoughts. You had 0 to do with what they did. At least in my experience. And then storage upgrades, that was something that we needed to do as well. So let's start with this one, since nobody's actually using it. Oh, we don't have any stones! Crap, that was dumb. Yeah, so when we go to hit up the mine again, we're gonna have to use the rocks to upgrade storages, because I completely forgot about that. We already used all of our rocks, so we can't right now. No! He really did walk all the way from the other village. Wow. Okay. Alruna? How old are you, Alruna? 2. Their 2-year-old walked all the way over here. Future warrior, right? Or somebody told it something that it took literally. When I was in kindergarten, I forgot a pencil. And I was in trouble because I forgot my pencil. So they sent me to the principal's office, and the secretary said, "It's not a big deal, just use my pencil." So I used her pencil throughout the day and thanked her for it and brought it back at the end of the day. And she said, "Now tomorrow, if you forget your pencil, don't bother coming to school." So the next day, I got off the bus at the school, first thing in the morning, bright and early, realized I'd forgotten my pencil. So I started walking home to go get it. And I lived probably 30 miles from the school, and the school sat on a highway, so I was walking on the side of the highway as a 5-year-old. And a school bus driver saw me walking and tried to stop and pick me up so that I obviously wouldn't get abducted or hurt. And he wasn't my bus driver, so he was therefore a stranger, and I refused to get in the bus because I was told that you don't get in cars with strangers. I was always an extremely literal child, and it bit me in the ass more than once. Office. But yeah, that was my childhood in a nutshell. Anytime somebody told me something, that was exactly to the letter what they got, for better or worse. Sometimes it made me a very obedient child, and sometimes it made me a very frustrating child. Because there was no logic used. I did exactly what you told me. Oh man, I had some shenanigans in chemistry class too. That was one of my favorite classes. It didn't help that our teacher was kind of an idiot. We got in trouble because we melted a hole in the floor from the first floor or from the second floor. I guess it would be first floor if you were European, but from the American second floor to the first floor through the ceiling, because my friend had been in a car wreck and broken his wrist, and we were notorious for accidentally breaking glass because we weren't paying attention. And we were in class one day shortly after he'd broken his wrist. He had his hand in a cast and everything, and we heard glass shatter, and we looked at each other and saw that both of us still had our beakers in our hand. So he raised his hand up in the air and said, "Wasn't me," and because he had his cast on, his hand couldn't hold on to it, so he dropped his and it shattered in the sink. And he went, "Whoop, that one was me." And then I got the giggles, and I could not stop laughing. So we got detention. And for detention, the chemistry teacher decided that our punishment would be to dilute the hydrochloric acid, which was a very poor decision for two of the students who broke the most glassware that year. So we were trying to do that, and he left the room, and we were horsing around and tipped over the jug. And it ate through the chemistry counter, through the floor, and into the ceiling of the history classroom below us. It was like an episode of the Three Stooges. Seriously, it was fucking hilarious. We were in quite a lot of trouble. We had to go to Saturday detention, and he was never allowed to give another student detention. the instructor. But yeah, that was the kind of caliber of instructor that we dealt with for my chemistry class. He was not the most logical scientist, that is for certain. However, chemistry in college was a blast, and I paid quite a bit more attention and was quite a lot more careful, so that was a thing. I didn't break anything in college. But, you know, that's the difference between being 15 and being 25. Making your own history above history class, right? Oh, it was fantastic. Would animal feed be better than torches? Yes and no. We need the animal feed is the only reason I'm making it. Normally I wouldn't make animal feed for money. It's just not worth the wait. But the torches are probably the better bet for money. We are going to need some straw for animal feed, but we will be able to get that out of what we keep back. Alright, we're going to head over to the second village real quick. You bad boy, LOL. Alright, so we'll head over to the second village and we'll get that trimmed up. And then we can have them start... Why? Oh, no, that is part of the housing. The road is at an awkward angle here. And that's why I don't like building close to the roads, because it makes you do weird things with your houses. I like doing the cardinal directions for the houses because it lets you get pretty square villages. Like, this fence here bothers me because it's slightly off. But, like, the rest of it's all very square and gridded and looks really nice. Like, they're all even lines. And even over here, like, we've got it all nice and squared up and even. Our fence looks better. But that's not a thing that we can do with... Oh, no! She had a tool! I don't know where she got it, but she had a tool. She's in the middle of the field. Had to draw a map on paper just to navigate it. Fair enough. I actually did that back in the day when I played before the game fully released. I made an Excel file. Yay! Barn level 3! I made an Excel file where I had made all the cells the same size and then filled them with colors so that I knew where all of the nodes were and where the walking path was. And that was how I navigated my mine back then. Yeah, we got to do something about the pigs, though. We need more pigs. And they have not bred in 4 1/4 years. Any news about the release of co-op or update? The big update, the Oxbow, is still coming. They had said that it was going to release sometime this year. As far as I know, that hasn't changed, although it is getting close to the end of the year. But they had a little card system that they were doing with 4 hidden slots, and they said that when the 4th slot was unveiled, the update would be ready. And so far they have revealed 3, but the 3rd reveal was about 2 weeks ago. So, I don't know, we've probably still got the better part of a month, if not a little bit longer. But the first reveal was that it, because it's the co-op update, the Oxbow. But the first one was that they were adding a new map, which we are all super excited about. And then the second part was that they were making it, or that they were allowing female characters, which is also super cool. Although I'm a little curious as to how they're going to do that, since the women are out for 2 years for pregnancy. So I don't know how they're going to handle that, which is kind of exciting. And then their third update was that we will actually be allowed to do character customization. So that's super cool too. I'm a little curious as to what they're going to do with the storyline too, because you can't use the same storyline in a place that isn't the valley, because the storyline revolved around being in the valley. So I'm not entirely sure, especially if they're going to give you character customization. Being Racemir is not going to make sense because your Uncle Eordan was the reason that you came here, so they're going to have to find a new premise for all of that. It's going to be interesting. I'm simultaneously disappointed and happy that I wasn't drawn for the beta. I'm disappointed because I would have loved to have known the answers to these questions, but I am actually happy because if I had been drawn for the beta, I would not be allowed to stream it because they're all under NDA. So, that 60? I will check here in just a moment. Oh good, we do actually have enough. Okay, so tech, we are now, for building technology, we're actually at the end. We are 250 past the end of building tech. So I guess the extra building tech really doesn't matter. I didn't realize that resource storage was the end of that. We just got our Herbalist 2 shack, bought the recipes that we care about, ignored the rest. The fishing hut 2, we really don't care, because we don't have a fishing hut up at all. But we are a little over halfway to the end of that one. Farming tech, we just unlocked the barn 3. Next will be the windmill and another 2,000 points. So we're looking at about 4 real-time days. Because we get about 500 points a season, and we do about a season an episode. So we're looking at 4 to 5 real-time days. Our sewing hut 3, we are just about to... That is huge. And then after that is the tavern, which is what we really, really, really want. Because that's going to let us turn cherries into wine, which are worth a fair amount of money. We were almost into need another Timmy territory there. Did any of you guys watch Dinosaurs back in the day? It was an old sitcom. When you were a kid? Yeah, I did too. So the premise was, for those of you that didn't see it, that the dinosaurs were the main characters, and they acted like humans. They walked around and talked. You had carnivores that lived with herbivores, and the herbivores were afraid of the carnivores, but they were their bosses, and they had jobs like normal people. But there was a science show that the baby dinosaur always used to watch that had 2 scientist dinosaurs, kind of like Beakman's World or Bill Nye. And their tester, instead of being a puppet, was a human child named Timmy, and every episode that they showed the science show, Timmy would inevitably get blown up somehow, and the dinosaurs would yell, "We need another Timmy!" And it's just stuck with me. So that has become my phrase for oopsies that have disastrous consequences, is we need another Timmy. And we'll make some vials to sell off, and we're gonna go on a sale run, I think, to purchase the oats that we need, and to obviously clean out the other villages for financial reasons. But I think we will probably start out our next episode with said sale run, and then we will worry about going to the other mine. It'll be our first time in the other mine, so we're going to be exploring that together. But we will go to the other mine and harvest the iron out of there, so that we can get some extra stone to upgrade the rest of the storages. So I think that's going to be a big, important bit. But it is that time of the night, guys. So we are going to go ahead and stop here. We did get quite a bit done. We got the fields handled. We got our rye. We haven't actually cooked our rye up yet, which is another thing that we're going to have to do in the next episode. But we got our rye. We've got everything rolling smoothly. We got our other animal pens built up. We got them fenced in. We've got the babies moved. Got some workers over here now. But on that note, if you learned anything useful or if you had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us. I very much appreciate it. And we will catch you next time.